Hello, welcome back. Hope you've had a cup of tea and a biscuit. Me and Ben are here right in the middle of the room this time for Masters' second round. So, Ben, are you going to talk us through the draw?
Yeah, we can do. So, on table one, we've got Matty and Tom. It's another ogre off. Tom's second of the weekend. They just, on with the first turn, deployed fairly centrally each. So, it looks like it's going to be a big ruckus in the middle. Difference between the lists. Tom's got a stone horn, whereas Matty's got one large unit of Mournfangs. Tom's got a couple of small Mournfang units, but I'm not really sure where the other differences are without looking at the list. I think both of them are feeling kind of confident. You know, they look pretty happy.
They've just had a rules query though, haven't they? About something Anrahan in round.
The Curse of the Anrahan.
That's the one.
Curse of the Anrahir.
That's the one. Sorry.
You're putting words in my mouth.
I am absolutely.
It does open terrain, counters dangerous if the spell's in play.
Yeah.
And yes, it does. Open battlefield is a type of terrain. It says so in the rulebook.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Rules query.
There you go, Tom. Know your rules. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah. Next table, Ben. Moving on, dear.
Okay, we've got Dan and Haristo. So Dan's got a big 20-0 win, so he's
Yep.
already 3 tournament points ahead of Haristo. But he does have a points penalty for an illegal list.
Right.
So he's actually 2 points behind Haristo.
Right, okay.
As for the comp, Haristo's on a 14 and Dan's only on a 10, I think he is. So there's a few hundred points difference there for the game to start with.
But they both have 3 cannons, though, don't they? So it could be quite a cannon off in the first few
so let me
rounds.
just stick my head around and have a look how it's going.
Go on then. I'll fill in. La 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 la.
So the dwarfs have gone in, as I'm looking at it, the far left corner, and Dan's set up centrally but slightly to the right as well. It's going to be a long-range cannon shootout. By the looks of things, it's just literally going to be a long-range cannon shootout, and I think Haristo is going to be up on comp score. I think Dan might have been thinking he can just play for a minor loss in this one and try and pick up some points elsewhere.
I think Haristo might have it. I think he knows what he's doing, especially against Empire.
I think Haristo's going to be up in this one by at least 300 or 400, maybe a 14, 6. We'll see how it comes in, but that'd be my thoughts.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, so next one on our table to our left is Chris Legg, which you can actually see on camera, against Andy Spears. Chris is using the vampires. Andy's got the dwarf army. Andy's set his dwarfs up around his belly, same as he does in every game. And Chris is going full bore straight into it. It looks like they're on turn 2, maybe 3, and the vampires will be charging next turn.
Is he staying at the back and shooting? Is that his tactic, yeah?
Yeah, staying at the back and shooting. Obviously, if he shoots enough knights in a single turn, he could be getting a cannon shot at the vampire lord when there's no lookout sir left. But that's the gamble Chris is taking by the looks of things.
I kind of want that to happen because when I played him, it didn't happen and it was so close. So just like comeuppances, I want it. And just to let you know that the person you can see there with the glasses is actually Chris and not a lesbian.
And if you
just in case our viewers.
This is Chris' ultimate tactic look. See him shoving that unit forward, fully aggressive, shoving it right at him. Yeah, so it's going pretty well.
He's done that a few times.
Hopefully Chris will be up in this one.
Cool.
We'll see how it goes. Okay, table 4, over in the corner, we've got Nick Pym versus Will Goodwin, the 2 demons.
Boris Johnson.
So Nick's demon is actually an 8, and Nick's demon score is a comp of 14, and Will's is an 8. So there's a big points difference, and I actually think Nick's list is better. So not only does he have a better comp score, I think he might have a better list in the matchup.
Now, Nick finished his game in record time. I mean, there has been talk in the past that he doesn't always finish his games, but here he completely finished it almost, ahead of time with time to spare. Yeah. Is he changed tactics, do you think? What's different at this tournament for him?
So Nick picked up a reputation of being a slow player, and certainly in 2012, in my opinion, he's not got that reputation anymore. Some people still pin it to him because they think, he's a slow player, but there was a time when he was slow. He spent the last year speeding up, and he always finishes all his games now. So he's certainly not considered a slow player. Will Goodwin on the other hand, so them two playing together could be quite interesting to see how it pans out.
Fair enough.
I'd have Nick down as probably being having the better list in that game, but we'll have to see how it plays and how he decides he wants to go.
Okay, watch this space, guys. Moving on then.
So next up we've got Ben versus Raph. It's the Skaven versus Lizard Men. Raph will be telling everyone it's the worst matchup ever, but I won't be surprised if he doesn't do badly.
Doesn't Raph say that every single game?
So does Ben as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Ben's got a lot of big combat blocks that Raph can't deal with, and he's going to come all guns blazing straight across the table at him, I imagine. He's got the Storm Banner on the list to stop the shooting for that key turn that he needs to.
Okay.
So the thing with the Rat Ogres, we've got Frenzy. So it is easy to lead them on a merry-gance and have them chasing after skinks and things like that. But Raph doesn't really have a combat unit to take advantage of turning the Rat Ogre's flank and then charging in the flank. So he can divert them and redirect them, but he can't actually deal with them. So I think Ben's going to be up in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a real big win.
So he was down in his first one, but he's going to be up majorly in this one.
So Ben went down at 12-8 and Raph went down at 11-9. So it's a close one. They're still within a point of each other. And as for the comp scores, I think they're on similar scores as well. I think Raph's on a few more than Ben, but not a lot. Maybe 100 difference.
Right, okay, excellent.
Next up we've got Jack versus Lorenzo. Now this game, I really don't know how it's going to go. Mainly because Skull Crushers are a bit of an unknown. Also Jack with Warriors is a lot of an unknown. And it comes down to really whether the Skull Crushers can beat the Guts Star in combat. And if Jack wants to try doing that or if he's going to try and play defensively. I really don't know how that'll go. It'll be interesting to see.
We should get him on in a little while as well and just find out his reasoning behind choosing a different list.
Yeah, I think see why he brought that list, see what his thoughts are on why he didn't bring Lizard Men to the point. And yeah, it'd be a good chat that would.
Cool. And then is it the bottom table?
No, so we've got
we've got one more, sorry.
Mikey and Mo on table 7. So Mo's picked up a list he's never played with before and been purple sunned off the table, I think it was. So
Not nice.
He's playing Mikey now, Chaos Dwarfs. So it'd be interesting to see how that one goes. I know Al played them with a similar list at the ETC and it didn't go great for him, but the Destroyer got in and just wiped him up. And it was Purple Sun against Al at the ETC, which actually finished the game off for him.
Okay.
So we'll see how this one goes.
Just in case people didn't know, Mo has stepped in for Al at the last minute because he was unable to attend. And Mo is using Al's list and Al's army, correct?
Yeah, Al's list, Al's models, having never played with it before, so
So pat him on the back for that, that's good.
I just want to talk about that actually. So Matt Sewell was actually the next one on the list for the Masters.
Okay.
And every year what I do is the next 2 spare players, I always ask to submit a list in advance. And that's normally enough. So what we've resulted in this year was I've had 2 spare players, which was Will and Mark, both submit lists. And then 2 people have dropped out as well. Now, up until this morning, all the players were supposed to be playing. Al was shaky last night. He says he's not sure if he's going to be able to make it, but he's still going to turn up in the morning and see what happens.
Okay.
By then, Mo had said he was going to come up for the weekend because he can get a lift. I think he's staying on someone's floor, so he was going to be here just to, hang out, do Twitter coverage and things like that. And in the morning, Al said he's not feeling up to it. Personal problems that I won't go into here. Mo stepped in, so apologies to Matt Sewell. He should rightfully have been here. He was the next invite down, but at such short notice, it just wasn't something that I could make happen. So sorry to Matt.
No. And, all credit for Matt for still wanting to be here as well, but I wouldn't necessarily be able to drop everything with 12 hours notice. Well, not even 12 hours notice.
Yeah,
an hour's notice.
It was literally this morning. I mean, Matt did say on Twitter, if I'd have called him, he'd have dropped everything and come down. But, what do you do? I went with what I knew could work, which is what I've got on site, and that was how it's had to pan out. So apologies to Matt, but hopefully he'll qualify next year.
Absolutely. Cool. So, yes, let's go to the bottom if we really need to.
Yeah, so bottom table is Keith Wilkinson versus Mr. Lover, Mark Wildman. And what do you need those two? Both over here, look. Get one of them two.
Sorry about that.
That was Aristo asking me to do the rules question. I'm not actually the ref this weekend, which I'm quite enjoying. People keep coming over and asking, and I keep saying, go and see Ed and John.
The jolly foreigners here, nicking our Warhammer game and then interrupting. How rude of them. Go back to your own country.
He's got quite a following though. A lot of people say, oh, my missus is Bulgarian, I want Aristo to win, or oh, I went to Bulgaria on holiday, let the Bulgarian win. So he's doing well as well by the looks of things.
I really like Aristo. He's a lovely guy as well. But when we're recording, piss off. Anyway, carry on. Bottom table.
Mark versus Keith. Both got smashed in the first round. Mark only got 96 points, plus another 90 for the comp distance. So Mark is dead bottom, unfortunately. Bad time.
Well, Mark being a bottom, I don't know. I'm not going to comment any further on that.
Say, we're feeling around the bottom, wouldn't we? didn't he?
I get shivers just thinking about it. Mark doesn't mind about being down there, but I know he'd like to be higher. He's played Keith before. I kind of want him to do a little bit better, but, you know, dice is dice, people are people, games are games. You can't always read it, can you?
I'd love nothing more than for him to get a 20-0 in this game. Well, it does sound like he's shouting and waving his arms, and his cheeks have gone pink already.
Oh yeah, maybe I should get some pictures to see if he's got the rosy cheeks. Awesome. Okay.
Anything else before we depart?
Well, actually, yes. Ed, who's one of the rules people, ref.
Ed's model.
Yeah, he's done a little model which he's been modifying with green stuff, and actually, it looks pretty awesome. Can you show it to the boys and girls?
Looking like us, hopefully we can focus in.
Yeah, that's good. Do you want? Maybe you can get a little bit closer. If I stand out of the way, and it might focus on that. It's kind of focusing, but what Ed has done is he's modified the cloak behind with a lot of green stuff, and it looks really, really good. It's an awesome model. Do you know what the model is and where it's from?
Yeah, it's just parts off the Empire range. I think he's got a horse off a Pistolier, he's got part of the classic Empire wizard, and legs off a Pistolier, and some green stuff just to make it work. Games Workshop don't actually produce
Mounted Wizards.
Empire wizards. So we've got a lot going on. We've got all the gaming, obviously. We've got guys over doing the hobby. You're going to be doing some magic later.
Absolutely. Going to be doing some magic later. Playing magic later, not a bit of desktop conjuring. Absolutely.
You're also going to be building yours.
Yes, I'm doing the Mortis engine, and there's a little table just over there with it all set up on as well. But that's us tuning out. What we will just do before we go is we'll just give you a quick pan of the room so you can see what's happening. Ooh. And I'll let Ben do that, but see you later, guys. Bye. So this is table 1 here, you can see. We've got Tom against Christopher Maloney from the X Factor. This is their models at the moment. We're going to be moving around. Can you get over to Dan Thomas? Oh no, we've moved over to this way to see a lesbian versus a dwarf.
I think that's all we can reach because we're at the limit of our cable.
Oh right, okay. Well, that is Maelstrom Games. Wishing you luck, wishing you love.